So, you want to make your perfect caramel sauce? Easily spreadable, perfectly color hue all throughout for dessert, for your favorite sandwich. I mean, it's a very sweet sandwich or anything else. Well, I'm going to help you with exactly that. So, you're going to have your all clad on the stovetop. You have your sugar and you have your butter and you have your heavy cream. And last but not least, your salt. Coarse salt, kosher salt preferable. All right, so you're going to start adding in your sugar. The amount of sugar, this is going to be 1 cup granulated, regular white sugar. You're going to have your stove top on medium low because you want this to cook essentially low and slow. I know, patience is a virtue, but with this, just patience and just going with the flow with it is going to be the best result at the end. I don't know why I started with my left hand because honestly, I'm a right hand, but yeah, I made the swap. It just felt really awkward. As we're looking at the sugar melting right now, you're going to see the sugar combined a lot on the bottom and also on the sides, the edges of your stainless steel. So just be mindful. You're going to have to constantly keep stirring with this one. I know it's very tempting. You want to step away or you want to have it sit down on its own. That will lead to a very burnt, distasteful, very unpleasant experience of a caramel. So just keep stirring, stirring, stirring. Play some music in the background before you started all this and you'll be able to enjoy. Just pay attention to the sugar on the bottom around the edges so that way it doesn't clump too much together. And if it does, you can use your spatula, preferably either a wooden or a silicone spatula. So that way you won't scratch up your stainless steel. Yeah, my foot hit that. Okay, so you're gonna keep stirring. I know I kept like fidgeting with my my light post, but yes, keep stirring, stirring, stirring. Now this is the part you start seeing some little bit of magic, right? Your sugar's starting to melt on the bottom. It looks very clear, almost like for the winter season when you have like your sleet and your rain melting and combining on the ground, but you get to see that very thin layer of like liquid. That's what you're having right there. When you see that, you know you're on a good path. Just keep going, keep stirring. And on the edges, you see against the wall where the sugar is hitting against the warm pan. That is normal. That is natural. Just keep, when you're stirring, scrape on the side. Now your spatula that you're going to be using, yes, sugar is going to be combining on it. Throughout the process, it might fall off on its own naturally, or when the rest of the sugar is more in the liquid phase, it'll just kind of fall from there. And you're seeing a little bit of a different color change on the clusters of the sugar. That's a good sign. Keep going. And now at this point, the sugar is almost looking like wet sand or wet dirt from like a very hot summer day. And you add a little bit of water and it just automatically like seizes up and clumps all together. This at this point is when a lot of the sugar, because remember sugar, it has water into it. So the water part is evaporating. And when something evaporates, it kind of, crackles like almost like desert. So the moisture is being evaporated. The sugar is kind of releasing and creating new bonds, creating crystal bonds at this point because there's no water to kind of separate it to make it the smaller individual grains of sugar that you started in the beginning. This amber color, it just gives a little more heat where the sugar is breaking down the water, like I said before. The heat is cooking the sugar. That's where you get more of an amber color. Oh, and you see a lot of the sugar now at this point is literally liquefying. The best part. You just see it and get super excited. Like, yes, I'm like at the halfway point. This is good. This is great. Keep stirring, keep stirring. Like I said before, the sugar is going to get stuck in your spatula. I tried to take it off the spatula on the edge of the pot. I just figured just don't stress too much into it. It'll come off on its own. Trust the process. A lot of baking is a lot of trusting the process. And stir, stir, stir. Don't forget the edges, like I said before. And you can use the edge of your pot as a good visual vantage point to let you know you're still on the right path. Nothing major has been happening where it's catastrophic. It's supposed to go in the same process as from the pale white to the little like tannish color. Now you're getting this light honey amber color. After this, it's getting more of the darker one, but it won't get to the darker because you still have those little bits of sugar. Those little bits of sugar kind of slow down the process of it getting super dark. And yeah, this is when I got impatient. No, patience is not my favorite thing. But I use the back. Use the spine of a knife, a paring knife. Don't use a chef knife. It's not that necessary. A paring knife is best, but only use the spine. Do not wear down your blade where you actually cut. I just put the temperature down just a little bit. I started seeing some smoke. You do not want smoke with this because smoke is a bad sign. It's too hot and the rest of the caramel is gonna burn really quickly. And once it burns, you have to start all over again. You cannot salvage that. Less pieces of the sugar trying to dissolve. And now I have my butter. Now the butter is going to be, unsalted because we're adding the salt ourselves to make it the salted caramel. They cut into pieces and kind of room temperature. Nothing too warm because you don't want it too flat. But the butter is also gonna kind of make the sugar very like happy right now. All those bubbles, the bubbles are a good thing. Don't worry about it. But there is gonna be steam because the butter still has a little bit of liquid. So when you had all the sugar that had all the liquids evaporated and you're forcing more liquid into it, you're gonna get those bubbles. So keep going, keep going. Like I said before, you're still going to keep stirring, and making sure that the temperature is not too high because you want this more on the lower point of the temperature gauge. Now it's going to get sticky on the edges, especially. The butter will help a little bit for like the gliding. Now, lastly, it's going to be the heavy cream. The heavy cream goes slow. The heavy cream is going to be room temperature. You do not want that cold because once it's cold, you see how the bubbles are going really frantic right now? It is going to be worse than that if you use cold heavy cream. So make sure your heavy cream is in room temperature. And keep stirring. When you add the heavy cream, make sure you turn off your stovetop. I've learned that from my own personal experience. I know some people like to have like more on the lower end. I'm not sure how your energy source, if you have like electric, if you have gas, you have a convention, either one of the three, just turn it off right before or right when you add the heavy cream because you're still going to have the residual heat from your pan. Now this is when we add the salt. I do 2 pinches. To me, 2 pinches is perfectly fine for this volume of this recipe. You don't want it too salty and you also don't want it to have too sweetness, kind of the severe imbalance. So now the stove top is off. You're just going to keep stirring. Add a little bit more. I was just feeling extra little zealous. I'm like, let's try it out. Why not? But definitely still do the 2 pinches as for starters. Remember, you always can add, but you never can remove. So if you add 2 pinches and you taste it out later on, when it kind of cools down a more temperament temperature, you'll be fine. As it cools down, you can have it on the countertop or put it in the fridge and it becomes spreadable just like that. Now for storage, you can put it into your fridge, but if you want to have it more of that consistency, take it out of the fridge, let it sit on your countertop for 15 minutes, and it'll be perfectly spreadable just like this. And there you go. You have your full jar of caramel, salted caramel. Enjoy.